Growing up in the Philippines, I would help my mom cook Filipino food. Later on, when I became vegan, I learned that Filipino food can still be vegan without losing its soul. I wanted to share this discovery with family, friends, and with you.
It's that.
Kain na! Let's eat! Fresh Lumpia or Lumpiang Sariwa is a Filipino fresh spring roll that uses a lot of vegetables. It might as well be vegan. You could simply skip adding shrimp or pork and you still have yourself a very colorful, savory, sweet, and satisfying Lumpiang Sariwa that's authentically Filipino. Here's what we'll need. 3 cloves of garlic minced, 1 yellow medium onion chopped, 1 cup of green beans thinly sliced, 1 cup of shredded cabbage, 1 cup of bean sprouts, 1 cup of chickpeas. And for the following, I'm gonna give you a list of ingredients and they're gonna have the same cut, roughly cut into small cubes. 1 cup of potatoes, 1 cup of sweet potatoes, 1 cup of jicama, 1 cup of extra firm tofu, 1/4 cup of carrots, and then we'll also need about 6 to 8 pieces of lettuce leaf. We'll also need for seasoning just a pinch of salt and a tablespoon of brown sugar. And for the sauce, it's only going to require 5 ingredients. 2 cups of water, 3 to 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, depending on the strength of your soy sauce brand, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 3 cloves of garlic minced, and our thickening agent will be 4 tablespoons of potato starch. This one I got at the vegetarian grocery store in San Francisco called Rainbow Grocery. If you can't find potato starch anywhere, then you may also get cornstarch. Cornstarch is actually the more traditional route when making the sauce for Lumpiang Sariwa. But I prefer potato starch because with potato starch, it remains smooth. So that's it for the sauce, only 5 ingredients. For the lumpia wrapper, it's only gonna require 4 ingredients. 1.5 cup of unbleached white flour, 1 cup of non-dairy milk. You may use your favorite non-dairy or nut milk. I am using here rice milk. Then for binding, instead of eggs, I am going to use 1/2 cup of chickpea brine. This was an invention or a discovery from Goose Wold, who created meringues using chickpea brine instead of eggs, which was a huge food revolution or discovery. And then we're also going to need 2 to 3 tablespoons of cooking oil. Did you get all those ingredients? Time to cook. Turn on a stove here under medium heat using a pan, a medium-sized pan. Pan is hot enough. We're gonna pour a little bit of oil, 3 to 4 tablespoons. For this recipe, I like to start with the onions first instead of the garlic because the garlic may tend to burn easily. You saute it until it is soft and translucent in color. And then we'll add the potatoes, the regular potatoes and the sweet potatoes. Lumpiang Sariwa is not only great for parties and gatherings, it's also great for an afternoon snack. In the Philippines, we call it merienda. And while we're cooking this, we're going to fry the tofu. Now that the other pan is hot enough, we're gonna pour oil. Now we'll add the tofu is gonna take some time to cook, to fry and have that nice crunchy texture. In the meantime, I'm cooking the filling and I'm constantly stirring because I don't want the garlic to stick on the bottom of the pan. And once we see that the potatoes have softened, then it's time to add the carrots and the jicama. And they're ready. You can transfer it here. Time to add the garbanzo beans, green beans, pretty much the rest of the other ingredients. Just got more colorful. About to be more colorful with the cabbage. All right. And the bean sprouts. Then remember the tofu we fried. We're adding that too. Then we'll season with salt. I'm using pink salt, but you may use your favorite salt. 3 pinches, 3 to 4. And a little bit of the brown sugar. The filling is done. We're gonna turn off the heat and we'll move on to the sauce. As you probably know, with using potato starch or cornstarch, you need to dissolve it in some kind of liquid first. Add a little bit of water into the potato starch here so we can dissolve it. Okay, now we have a potato starch mixture. Let's heat a pot here under low heat, and then we'll add the water. Then we'll add the soy sauce and the sugar and the potato starch mixture. I'm using a ladle, we'll mix it. Keep mixing it. I think we have achieved the right texture. Time to add garlic. And it's a traditional touch. Then we'll turn off the heat. You have our sauce. Anyway, moving on to making the wrapper. Okay, it's just the flour. Then I'm gonna add rice milk in here. And just mix it. All right, it's getting there. Then we'll add the chickpea brine. It's chickpea magic. I transfer the batter to a measuring cup so that it could be easily poured. Now I also have a pan here heating, and I'm going to put a little bit of oil onto the pan. Now if you have a cooking spray, do that, but if not, then a little bit of oil will be fine. Notice that I'm lifting the pan here so it's not too hot once I pour the batter. Just swirl it around. Now it's ready to be flipped. Flip it. Perfect. So you could see it's toasted on one side, but on the other side, we don't want it to be too toasted. The reason why I want it to be toasted for this side was because I want it to be firm enough for me to flip over. To cook the other side, it's gonna take relatively shorter, just probably half a minute to 1 minute compared to the other when we tried to cook the other side, which was what, 3 to 4 minutes. Basically, as long as you could flip it around, it's ready. And then I'm gonna transfer it on a plate with a paper towel so that it could absorb the oil. One great way to have something for those people who are allergic to gluten is to use a gluten-free wrapper, a Vietnamese rice paper. So I'm gonna show you, and this one you don't have to make from scratch. You could just easily buy them at Asian grocery stores or at your local supermarket. And then we're going to soak him in water to soften it. You'll know when it's ready, when it's highly flexible. Also, when you feel it around, it's not as rough anymore. And then we're gonna transfer it to a plate. There you go. And then we're gonna add a piece of lettuce in the middle. There. And then we add a filling in the middle of the lettuce. Make sure you have clean hands. That's enough right there. It's easy to wrap. Wrap it like that. Tuck it in. And then you flip this one here and then wrap along the way. There you go. And then we're gonna transfer it to the rest of the lumpia tray. Now I'm gonna wrap our lumpia using the other wrapper. This is just me, but I like this side to be the outside. So I'm gonna flip it. There. And use this as the inside of the Lumpiang Sariwa. Put the lettuce in the middle. So don't be fooled when it says fresh lumpia. It doesn't mean that it's raw. It just means it's not deep fried like the other kind of lumpia. Then we're gonna roll it. Fold the other side and then roll it again. Ah, that looks so pretty. Looks just like a traditional one. And then we're gonna include it to the rest of the tray of lumpia. Time for the last step, the garnishing. It looks so pretty, but it's gonna look even prettier. We're gonna drizzle the sauce on top. So by now, the sauce has cooled down, but as you will see, unlike cornstarch, it still remained smooth. So that's why I like potato starch instead. If your guests are already ready to eat, but if they're not, you may always serve this with the sauce on the side. Looking good. There. All right, and then we're gonna top it with crushed peanuts. There you go. This is great for big gatherings, but if you just want to make this for yourself, or if you don't have the time to roll the lumpia, you can just have this quote-unquote naked with rice or quinoa or farro or just the filling and the sauce. It's really up to you. You do have a lot of choices. Thanks so much for watching. This is RG at AstigVegan. If you want more recipes, just visit AstigVegan.com. I'm also on social media and I visit it regularly. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again. My name is RG, letting you know that Filipino food can be vegan, healthy, and delicious without losing its soul. Kain na! Let's eat!